He punched me below the belt, in front of the entire family. He thought it was funny. He thought I'd just laugh it off. But little did he know, I was about to get the sweetest, nerdiest revenge of all time. And it would take months for him to even realize it. This is the story of how my father-in-law learned never to mess with a. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love stories of poetic justice, clever comebacks, and revenge that just hits different, then you're in the right place. Smash that like button, subscribe, and get ready, because today's story has everything: family drama, gaming, and one of the most hilariously satisfying paybacks you'll ever hear. It was December of 2021. The holidays were in full swing, and for once, life felt calm. The protagonist, let's call him Mark, was spending time with his wife's family. He had always had a surprisingly good relationship with his father-in-law, a man named Tom. Unlike the stereotypical in-law drama most people dread, Mark and Tom actually got along. They bonded over hobbies, video games, and beer. But that night, alcohol was about to change everything. Picture it, the whole family gathered inside a warm Philly home. Christmas lights glowing, the smell of roasted turkey lingering, glasses of wine and beer scattered across tables. Everyone was cheerful, loud, and a little bit tipsy. Except Mark. He was the designated driver, so while everyone else was floating in a haze of alcohol, he stayed sober, sharp, and maybe even a little more observant than usual. Mark had been teasing his wife. Playful banter, silly arguments about something as dumb as which game character was the best. The kind of argument couples have where no one actually cares, but it's fun to rile each other up. His wife rolled her eyes. Her sister laughed. And that's when Tom, drunk and grinning ear to ear, decided to step in. Tom stumbled over, beer in hand, and said, "Here's how you deal with your husband." And before anyone could stop him, wham! He punched Mark. Not in the face. Not in the shoulder. But right between the legs. Now, any guy listening knows, it doesn't matter if it's full force or just a playful tap. Any hit below the belt is enough to make your stomach twist, your knees buckle, and your pride evaporate. The room erupted with laughter. Tom laughed the loudest, slapping his knee like he just pulled off the greatest prank of all time. Mark forced a chuckle. But inside he was doubled over with embarrassment and pain. Later that night, Tom did apologize. He even offered, half joking, "You can punch me back, if you want. Fair's fair, right?" But Mark just smiled. "No thanks," he said. On the surface, he brushed it off. He was the bigger man. But deep inside, a seed was planted. And that seed whispered, "You're gonna get him back. Not today. Not tomorrow. But one day." Fast forward a month. The holiday laughter had faded, but the memory of that punch? Still fresh. That's when Pokemon Legends Arceus dropped. For Mark and Tom, this was more than a game, it was a tradition. Both were lifelong gamers, collectors, and shiny hunters. They loved the thrill of chasing rare Pokemon. Mark, being the more hardcore gamer, tore through the game like wildfire. While Tom and the rest of the family took their time, Mark was already deep into endgame territory. He had a whole roster of shiny Pokemon carried over from years of hunting. And then, like fate handing him a loaded weapon, Mark stumbled upon something strange. A glitch. Specifically, with a shiny Gyaratina. Whenever it used the move Shadow Sneak, the game didn't just lag, it crashed. Hard. The entire Nintendo Switch would freeze, forcing a full shutdown. Mark tested it. Again. And again. It was real. It wasn't just a bug, it was a curse. He stared at the glowing screen, that menacing shiny Gyaratina flickering like a weapon forged in code. And in that moment, Mark knew, this is it. This is how I get him back. The brilliance wasn't just in the glitch, it was in the timing. Nobody knew about it yet. There were no Reddit posts, no articles, no YouTube videos warning about this bug. It was Mark's little secret. And he would turn it into the perfect trap. Weeks later, the family gathered again, this time at his sister-in-law's house. It was game night. Controllers in hand, laughter filling the air, everyone battling, trading, showing off their Pokemon. Mark played it cool. He cracked jokes. He made small talk. And then, like it was the most casual thing in the world, he offered, "Hey, I've got a bunch of extra shinies I've hunted over the years. You guys want any?" Eyes lit up around the room. Who would say no to free shinies? He handed out a few here and there, spreading the generosity to avoid suspicion. And then, like lowering a Trojan horse through the city gates, he turned to Tom. "Want a shiny Giratina?" Tom's face lit up. He loved legendary Pokemon. He accepted without hesitation. The trade was made. The seed was planted. And Mark waited. Months passed. Mark almost forgot about the setup. Until one day, Tom started complaining. His Switch kept crashing. He'd delete games, reinstall them, update, restart, nothing worked. He spent hours troubleshooting, losing time, losing patience. The family teased him, laughing at his frustration. But Tom wasn't laughing. And then, finally, the moment arrived. They were all hanging out when Tom sighed in frustration. "Man, my Switch just won't stop crashing. It's driving me crazy." Mark tilted his head, pretending to think. Then, casually, he asked, "Oh, is it whenever you use Shadow Sneak with that Giratina I gave you?" Silence. Tom froze. And then Mark delivered the kill shot. "That's for punching me in the D***CK last December." The room exploded. Tom burst out laughing, clutching his stomach. His face turned red, tears streaming from his eyes. Between gasps, he managed to say, "Oh my God. I wasted real time on that. I respect the long con." For once, the punchline wasn't on Mark. It was on Tom. And it was glorious. Act 5, Reflection and Karma. Days later, Tom started seeing articles pop up about the glitch. But he didn't need the internet to warn him, he'd already lived it. The family agreed it was one of the funniest pranks they'd ever seen. Nobody was hurt. Nobody lost money. But Tom got a taste of his own medicine. And the beauty of it? It wasn't instant revenge. It wasn't petty in the heat of the moment. It was patient. Calculated. Clever. Justice delayed, but oh, so satisfying. Sometimes revenge doesn't need to be cruel, it just needs to be clever. And in this case, a shiny Giratina was worth more than 1,000 punches. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button, drop your favorite revenge story in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that prove karma comes in the most unexpected forms.